Hello, and welcome back to another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. Today, we're going to be looking at the top 10 most fearsome real-life pirates. Thanks to movies like the Pirates of the Caribbean series, today we look back at the age of piracy with some fondness. But some pirates were amongst the most dangerous criminals to ever sail the high seas. Number 10. Captain Kidd. The good boy turned bad. Captain William Kidd was once a privateer on the right side of the law, but when he was charged to head off into the Indian Ocean to hunt pirates, he decided to instead become one himself. He swashled his buck with the best of them, attacking and capturing passing ships, killing insubordinate crew members, contending with mutinies, and burying treasure. But his pirating ways caught up with him, and he was eventually captured, tried, and executed. His body was then strung up by the River Thames to serve as a cautionary tale to any other would-be pirates. Number 9. The Barbarossa Brothers. Brothers that live together, pirate together. Or at least, that's what Greece-born duo Oryx and Kizera Barbarossa figured. They started their career plundering ships throughout the Mediterranean, earning plenty of doubloons and a reputation that preceded them. They were so successful that an Ottoman sultan even put Oryx in command of the entire Barbary coast. 2 years later, the brothers were finally separated when Oryx died, but Kizera took over the position and became such a scourge that the Pope would go on to form a Holy League fleet just to destroy him. The fleet failed. Number 8. Sir Henry Morgan. Just because he was sanctioned by England, that doesn't mean that Henry Morgan is any less of a pirate. The famed captain cut a swath through the Spanish Caribbean colonies in the 1600s, pillaging whatever he could, including Panama City, which he managed to take with just over 1,000 men and 30-odd ships. Number 7. Anne Bonny. The first, but not the only female on this list, Anne Bonny is famed for her thirst for bloodshed. While she may have been married to a sailor, she found his lack of pirating tendencies disappointing. So she dressed as a man and joined up with the infamous Jack Rackham, aka Calico Jack. Don't worry, we'll get to him soon. Unfortunately for Anne, after building a well-founded reputation for pirating and violence, she was eventually captured and sentenced to death. However, she was pregnant, forcing her captors to commute her execution. What happened next is lost to the sands of time, but some believe she managed to return home to her husband, the sailor. Number 6. Calico Jack. We said we'd get to him soon. John Rackham is a pirate who had a shot at another life after receiving a pardon for his pirating ways in 1719. Instead, he promptly stole a ship and pushed off towards the Bahamas and more violence. Along the way, he managed to capture not only the largest Spanish warship sailing the Caribbean, but also the heart of the aforementioned Anne Bonny. He had a tender side himself, which came out when he saw Bonny spending a lot of time with a recently acquired crew member. Jealous, Rackham confronted the man in question, only to find out that, like Bonny, he too was a woman. Going by Mary Read, she famously continued to travel with Bonny and Rackham until their boat was boarded and all three were captured in 1720. Rackham was executed a month later. Number 5. Francis Drake. When this famed explorer wasn't circumnavigating the world, and sometimes while he was, Francis Drake was busy raiding Spanish settlements, capturing foreign vessels, and squashing mutinies. Also like Henry Morgan, but a century earlier, Drake had the benefit of England's seal of approval, with Queen Elizabeth going so far as to call him "my pirate." Number 4. Bartholomew Roberts. While most pirates were said to love drinking rum, Roberts bucked the trend somewhat by favoring a nice cup of tea after a battle at sea. Also known as Black Bart, Roberts is said by many to be one of the most successful pirates that ever set sail. With a whopping 400 ships plundered, his legend was so great that some consider his death, via grape-shot cannon fire to the throat, to signal the end of the golden age of piracy. Number 3. L'Ollonais. We've talked about some pretty monstrous pirates so far, but at least none of them were known for eating people. Meet L'Ollonais, the Frenchman who liked to hack off bits of his victims and throttle them with a rope until their eyes popped out. He was once said to have cut a mutineer's heart out and then had a good munch on it. Pirate historian Alexander Exquemelin wrote that L'Ollonais was subject to the ultimate karmic fate. He was supposedly captured and eaten by cannibals in 1668. Number 2. Madame Ching. The most notorious and successful female pirate, Madame Ching ruled the South China Sea with her husband Cheng until he died, at which point she took sole control of their fleet and her reputation soared. And that fleet was quite something. She controlled 1,500 ships and 80,000 pirates, and she kept them busy thieving, plundering, and even taxing coastal villages. She's one of those pirates that got away with it, too. The Chinese government offered her universal pirate amnesty, and she took it, while her crew managed to keep their stolen riches. Many also scored plum military gigs. Ching herself retired to run a brothel with her second husband, her adopted son. Number 1. Blackbeard. Others might be more successful, some might have lived longer, one perhaps ate more human hearts, but there's no pirate more famous than Blackbeard, earning him the number 1 spot on our countdown. Edward Teach earned his reputation by running into battle with 2 swords grasped tightly, knives and other assorted weapons strapped to his body, while smoke billowed from his beard, thanks to the bundles of hemp he secreted there. This fearsome appearance struck terror in his enemies' hearts. He wasn't all style and no substance, though. He was known for killing seemingly at random, and he managed to defeat one of the most famous warships in history, the HMS Scarborough. Even his death was iconic. He was decapitated at the end of a massive battle, and his head was hoisted on a spike over the Virginian Hampton River as a warning to pirates everywhere. Thanks for watching another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. And remember, it's our duty to entertain and yours to subscribe.
Hey, what's up guys? Please subscribe to the Top 10. Yeah, subscribe. Press the button down below and just subscribe. I don't fucking know, my job sucks. There's a button down below, click it and just subscribe. Oh, and here's my Mexican hat. I seem funny, entertainment, yeah. Basically that's it, just subscribe to the Top 10. This is so boring. I give up, I just quit, fuck it.